Alrighty. Accidentally clicked the go live button, but whatever.
Oh boy, okay.
Now we wait a few minutes before we start.
Whoa. Yes. No way.
Because no one gives questions beforehand,
Who does that?
right? That's funny. It says on my social tab, 13 Seahawk playing Freddy's Custom Pizzeria. Is that what you're on last?
Somebody say pizza?
Oh, now it says you're at the Kit Caf Evening Cafe. Whoa.
No way.
Hello, Escoban, Redstone, Mars, and Timidator. I shall lurk, Timidator says. Why, hello, Seahawk. Yes, welcome, everyone. We are doing the Q&A with the Seahawk. Feel free to open it on your tab if you want to see what they're saying.
Yeah, I have it in my arm.
Yeah. Who knows? They might even ask questions. Oh,
Yeah.
they on a date? Redstone. Yep.
There.
How
Oh, yeah,
dare
we're-
Redstone?
We're totally dating.
100%. This is what it came down to. How are you doing, Project and Seahawk? I'm doing fine. For me,
Yeah, we're doing good.
doing
You're
good.
doing well. And chat, don't worry, we're not gonna do the what thing on the stream. At least I don't think we are.
What? Perhaps. Actually, I'll just
Who knows?
do a pinned message, and once that goes away, then we can start.
There you go.
There we go. Then we're gonna pin that for like 10 minutes. And then once that disappears, boom. And we're good.
Hey.
I didn't do that last time, but oh well.
It's alright. You know, you
How
learn as
dare
you
you, Rin.
keep doing these things.
Oh yeah, but because my first one was actually the Crimson, so I never actually really done these before. And then a lot of people
Hey.
started getting interested in actual Q&As, so. Ooh.
Yeah,
So
I
who
think
knows?
it's
I
a
might
good-
even do
it's a
more
really
in the
nice
future.
format. You know, if people want to do it and you still have an interest to keep
Yeah.
doing it, you
For
guys
sure.
should do it.
I came and saw and I beeped. Good for you, sir. Why Project got so much small cup? Because it's an espresso. They don't allow the bigger
Yeah, it's-
cups.
Yeah.
I mean, we could could have grabbed the bigger
we're
one.
not
but
grown up enough to get a bigger one.
We got the kid size meal.
Yeah. We
McDonald's
finished
got-
our Happy Meals, so right.
Be well, Gooberness. No, you be well, Triangle.
Gooberonis.
So true. Whoa.
Oh, it's a nice rainy day outside. Looks
Oh
like
yeah.
my home.
Right. Who dares give me
This
the
is what
hydrate
my-
now? Oh, I got a
My
cup
home
right
looks
here.
like. Yo,
That was funny.
I had one and then my cup decided to vanish for some reason.
Where did it go?
I mean, I put it down here and it just poofed.
Could be underneath the seat. Might quickly just check.
Maybe.
Oh no, it's not. Where did it go?
I wonder if do they respawn?
It could be.
Do I need to grab it?
I don't know.
It's okay. It's just a cup,
It doesn't matter. Dang it, man.
right?
And back to city.
No,
Whoa.
maybe maybe we gotta share that kid cup.
Oh, great. My
Yeah,
dad needs help
yeah,
with something
I'll
real
just-
quick. Of course they do, at the wrong time. Okay, so I guess I'll be right back for a moment.
No worries.
Please stand by.
How you doing, chat? Hope you guys are doing well.
I'm looking forward to this experience. And if there are any questions that don't come up in the interview, I'm sure Project will probably bring it up. But not at this moment. That's good. Glad to hear it. Isn't it a beautiful rainy day outside, guys? Look at it. Makes you want to snooze, just lie down on bed or a couch or something. That's good, Diamond. Glad to hear it. Hi, Project High 13. Hello, Spiral. Hello, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Would be funny if player pickup was enabled and somebody would hop in and literally steal Project. For real. I don't know if you heard that, but yeah, that would be kind of funny. Well, it would be kind of nice. I mean, yeah, you can pick up players in certain levels. It'd be kind of nice if you can do like a two-handed pickup. Like, I'm carrying Project in my arms right now. That kind of thing. Or I'm picking up whoever and put him behind my back. Just run with their body. Maybe in the future. I would love to see the grabbing physics improve in VRC.
Alrighty. Alrighty. Sorry about that.
Sure,
Oh.
other people would agree with that.
My dad needed help with the groceries, so I came to the rescue.
Sorry. Hey, you did. I'm sure you did a fine job too.
Yup.
Here, you can have the rest.
Alrighty. Ah, yes, the rest of nothing. Alrighty. I think it's been close enough. So I'm just gonna delete the unpinned
Yeah.
message.
No
Unpin the
worries.
message, since I think a lot of people came, and here they are. Alrighty.
Hey, let's go.
So I think we'll do, if people have anything add on to these questions, go ahead. If we have a completely new question, we'll wait for the end, I guess you can call it. Just so we can
Sounds
kind of
right.
get through the questions. But anything adding on to said
Cool.
question, I think would be fine.
Mhm.
Because we're not trying to waste like 3 hours or something. Even though
No,
it took
I don't
only
think-
1 hour
I
the
don't
last
think that
time.
can make it-
So
Yeah. I don't think I can make it last 3 hours. I don't know.
3 hour questions. Where's your location? How come you didn't have coffee on this day? No, I'm kidding. Anyway, where's the questions at?
Who are you going out with?
Exactly. What concert? There it is, the questions. So, I guess we shall begin.
Hey, let's go.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how you became a furry and why did you started
Yeah.
with the Manokit species?
Yeah, so a bit more about myself. I'll kind of tell you a bit more about who I am behind the 13
Yeah.
Seahawk without revealing anything too
Yeah, of
personal.
course.
So, I currently live in Western Washington, but I was originally born in Arkansas. So I'm from the southern United States, where I spent most of my life. I was the middle child of 3
Oh, nice.
with my parents, and I always enjoyed computers and loved
That would be same for me too. Tech is pretty
right
cool.
there you go.
I
It
do
is
have to
pretty
agree.
cool. Yeah, and then you have people that come to you. I don't know about you, but I have people that come to me. It's like, oh, can you do this? Fix this for me? Can you
Oh,
fix this?
yep.
I don't know how to do
Actually, my
this.
my brother always does that because he has autism and ADHD, and he doesn't know how to do anything. So he just comes to me for everything. So
Oh man, I could definitely relate to that.
yeah, it's kind of annoying because it's like,
Um,
come on.
yes, like come on, it's not that hard. At least it's not hard for us, but it might be for some
Mhm.
people.
For me, it's
Um,
just he needs to work on his
so
problem
yeah,
solving. But as you were saying, sorry.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I love technology. I love to be outside. Uh, like to walk. Um, when I lived there, I was kind of an outcast. I feel like an outcast because I lived in an area where there wasn't much diversity.
Fair enough.
I was pretty shy. Still am a little bit, although not as much as I used to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh,
I'm gonna turn down the
I
music real
am.
quick. Ooh. You can
No
keep going
worries.
though.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I'm
what happened?
Hispanic, so my dad's from Mexico, and my mom is American with British, Scottish, maybe a little bit of Irish ancestry, and a few other things in there.
Yeah.
What else? I was the very last kid in the family to move away from my parents, and I know I left at a pretty late age, my
hmm
early 30s.
Oh, fun.
But yeah, I know, right? However, I was the one that moved the farthest away, much farther than
Oh,
any of my
really?
other siblings did.
Interesting.
Yes. Yeah. So my older brother, as far as I know, he still lives in the city that we grew up in,
Yeah.
and then my younger brother, he lives in the same state but lives in a larger city in a different part of the state. And I, on the other hand, I moved away from Arkansas to Washington State in 2013. Um,
Nice.
so I learned about. I'd never been to the Pacific Northwest before. It was a totally new place to me. I had some friends that lived there at the time, which had a
Yeah.
impact in my decision to moving out there. And around that time, I started to learn about the Seattle Seahawks.
Seattle
And
Seahawks. Yo.
yeah,
That's where your
this is
football
this
comes into
is
play.
exactly. This is the beginning of how the 13th Seahawk was born. I started to get into the Seahawks team around the late part of the 2013,
Yeah.
early 2014 season. I watched the playoff game between the Seahawks and the 49ers,
Nice.
and I was really interested. Um, I remember watching Richard Sherman do his thing, and I loved what I saw out of him. And then there was that post game interview where he was really fired up. He's like, "Don't you ever talk to me? Don't you ever talk about me like that?" I think he
Right.
was talking about another player that thought he was so good, but Sherman showed him who was the better player. He was
hmm
just really fired up, and I really liked that
Yeah,
spirit.
that's
And
funny.
then the rest was history. And then I really started to follow the Seahawks after that. And then 2016, 2017 was when I watched my first Seahawks game in person. And yeah,
Okay,
the
that's
rest
pretty
is
good.
history on the more personal side of things. So the 13th Seahawk, basically, the 13, well, they're known as the home of the 12s.
hmm
The 12 is the number for the fans. I moved to Seattle area in 2013, so I just thought, hey, why not be the 13th Seahawk? And that's how I
That's
adopted the
funny.
nickname.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
it.
um,
It really fits.
yeah, Yeah, I really like it. It really sticks. I don't think I would ever want to change it because that's
No.
part of who I am. And as far as the furry fandom,
Hmm.
uh, so I think it was about
Back in my day.
I would say like I know back in my day, I thought furries were in another planet or something.
Right?
So back, I think it was like 2015 or 2016,
Yeah.
was when I really learned about the furries, or at least the beginnings of the furries. One
Yeah.
day I saw some fursuiters, and in my mind, it's like, wow, I like the costumes and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, the suit aspect was always interesting to me. I always appreciate, people wearing a suit,
Yeah.
and they're usually well done. Um, at the time, I was like,
Maybe.
I don't know if that's for me or not. I was a little bit
Yeah.
curious at the time. Um, so we fast forward, 2019. I think it was early 2019.
Yeah.
I went to San Diego for Comic-Con International, and I got to meet several furries,
Yeah.
and I still try to keep in touch with them to this day. But I got to meet a few of them, got pictures with them.
Hmm.
At that time, that's when I really started to get more curious about the fandom. So in December, no, it was November 2019. I went to my very first furry convention. I got to meet up with one of the people I met at
Do you know
Comic-Con.
what con that was? Oh, Comic-Con. Was it?
Yeah. So
Okay, cool.
yeah, yeah. So the one in November 2019 was Anthro Northwest, or also known as A&W. No, we're not talking about the wheat beer.
That's great.
I mean, I could probably bring root beer next time I go to A&W.
Just for the joke.
Exactly. So yeah, so 20 at that convention,
Mhm.
I didn't go for the entire time. I went for a good chunk of it. So I got to meet up with one of the friends one of the people I met
Oh, of
at San Diego
course.
Comic
Thank
Con.
you.
Oh boy, of course. Gotta love VR, right, guys?
Yep.
Nothing ever goes wrong. It's perfect. um, so yeah, at that con,
Yep.
I got to meet up with a streamer friend. At the time, I didn't know that that they were a streamer. So I met Sherbert Shenanigans, who I really befriended later.
Yep.
A couple years later. At the time, I didn't know the name or anything. I just loved their kimono style fursuit, and
For sure.
got a picture with them. And yeah, when I was at A&W, I was actually really nervous because it's like
Yeah.
I've never been to a furry convention.
Right?
Even though I've been to a lot of conventions, I'm like, I don't know what to expect, but I'm gonna go for it. And yeah,
Yeah.
it was a fun convention. It's a home convention to me since it's right near where I live.
Yeah.
So we fast forward a little bit into 2000. Pandemic happens. Things shut down. People are
The
staying
funny
home.
happens. Oh.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of things change for sure.
Mhm.
That's when I really started to get into the fandom and eventually declare myself a furry at the end of 2020. It was right at that year. That's when I joined Twitch for the first time, because prior to the pandemic, I didn't
Oh,
do
really?
Twitch.
2019.
I knew 2020. Sorry, it was
2020. Okay, so just
Um,
after.
Yeah, yeah, 2020. I knew about Twitch before, and I knew it was Justin TV before it was Twitch. But I never set
Yeah.
foot on the site until early 2020. where I didn't really get into finding the furry fandom and get into the furry community on Twitch until middle of 2020. So some of the people I found during the real beginnings of me transitioning to becoming a furry.
Yeah.
So the first person I followed on Twitch was Ronnie HK. He's a
Ronnie HK.
DJ.
Yo.
Are you familiar with him?
No. I just like the name.
So it's a good name. So yeah, he's a DJ and a dancer. He does dance competitions at selected
For
conventions.
cons. Yep.
Yeah, he'll also do DJ sets, and he sometimes goes by the name of Addicts, I think.
Okay.
So he's got two names. So then afterwards, I think once I learned about Ronnie, then he raided Spaceen, who was the very first streamer that I learned about when it came to VTubing. I didn't know what a VTuber or face rig was until he raided Spacey, and I'm like, okay,
that's kind of cool.
This guy
I
seems
dig it.
cool. He's really chill. He's got that voice, like he could be on television or radio. I'm like, okay, this guy seems cool. So he's been one of the people I really look up to a lot as a streamer. I also learned about his condition. He has EDS, which is a really it's a crippling disease. I believe that affects your skin, and there's no cure for it right now.
That's unfortunate.
But it is. But I do appreciate the guy's attitude, willingness to keep doing what he loves doing,
despite
and
any conditions.
I have a lot of respect for him for that. Yeah, and then I got I cannot English.
Reintroduced.
So I got to Sherbert through Main Calico, who was one of the people I met at San Diego Comic-Con, and that's how I learned about Sherbert, and that's how I actually got into VR chat, believe it or not.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah, because it looked fun. I'm like, oh, this VR chat thing looks interesting. I felt like it was a good way to socialize, and
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I decided to, I followed Sherb, and
so how long after did you get your own Mano kit and the design of it all when you got to VR chat?
So that's a great question. So so about the Mano kit, I found it at I think it was Ferality Legends. It was at the dealer's den or the booths, and I fell in love with the design. It was designed by, I think it was Harumaki, also now known as Callista. I fell in love with the design. I loved the.
Alrighty, see you later, Surly.
People said it fit my personality, so I went with it.
Yeah.
So I gave it my colors and made it my own, and that is my primary Sona, which I recently just gave it a name, Sushi. Kind of like
Sushi.
how Timidator, like how Timidator's Sona's name is actually Zane.
Okay.
So mine's Sushi. Yeah.
That's cool.
But really quick, for those wondering, that is not my original Sona. I used to have a cat dragon hybrid avatar. Similar colors and everything. It was a different species. I still occasionally show it to people, but it's not really my. I kind of fell out of love with it. Let's see if I still got it. But yeah, it's
avatar reveal.
Right. I think. Just to show people off real quick, this is what I used to be. If I can load it.
We're gonna get some
This-
flashbacks.
this is
Ah,
this is
there
what
it
I used
is.
to look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Very
is
old
what I used to look
avatar,
like,
looks
guys.
like.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me go back to my main one.
After other 15 other ones.
Exactly. I just gotta get the right one. There we go. And then I gotta sit down.
I remember how Metzi used to have a cat coon avatar, Zootopia says.
Yes. It was actually developed by the same creator as the one that did my previous avatar that I just showed you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I declared myself a furry in late 2020, even though I've had I've kind of fit the definition of what a furry is for a long time, because I've always been into anthropomorphic animals in art, animation, especially
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But with me joining the fandom, I made so many friends, and some of the people I know, including yourself, I
Yeah.
kind of see. I see those people as like an extended family to me, and
Oh, that's cool.
I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah. Is that it? What we have for question 1, or we got a bit more? You like to add?
That's pretty much it about my introduction, other than the fact
Yeah.
that, I'm a variety. I've been streaming on Twitch for 3 years now, and my
3 years. That's
third
impressive.
anniversary. Yeah, and my third anniversary as an affiliate is coming up on October 26th.
Oh, stay tuned.
I like
Mark
when
that
I
date
first started
down.
streaming. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do, because I
Yeah.
really want to go bigger this time. I also understand that my window is not. I don't have the freedom that some
Yeah.
creators have, where they depend streaming more as their main income than I do.
Yeah.
Mainly because they're so successful, and they have more time to focus
An
on
audience
than
and
I do.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been streaming for 3 years. I do a variety of games. I do VR, of course, and I do RPGs, party games, some retro games. I try to do a lot of different games.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I enjoyed the experience, even with some of the challenges being a content creator bring, because it's not all fun
Yeah.
and games. There,
Exactly.
as you grow, you do get new challenges and everything.
Same with having
yeah.
a big community like yours. You have a lot of stuff to deal with.
Exactly. I think that's pretty much it for the first
Yeah.
question.
Because I don't think you own like YouTube stuff that you post shorts or whatever on.
So when it comes to YouTube, actually,
Or like
I've had a
TikTok. I'm
YouTube
not
for a
sure.
long-
Oh, you do? Okay.
I do. So when I first started using YouTube, I mean, I seldomly stream on YouTube. I kind of wanted to do more with it in the future,
Yeah.
but when I first joined YouTube, it was mainly posting videos of certain things that I did in the past. I since
Thank you,
deleted
Kruduzal, for
pretty
the
much
follow.
all the videos, because I want
Welcome.
to
We're doing a Q&A.
not have my videos focus on my real name. I don't want my real name
Yeah.
on YouTube anymore, so I kind of removed all that. But it was just convention related stuff and a
For
few
sure.
other IL stuff that I did. But yeah, my YouTube, I want to use it for any streams I do that's not on Twitch, and I need to do more
Kind of like a VOD section.
videos.
Almost?
Yeah, a VOD
Yeah.
section, and maybe some,
Because those
some of
actually
the
do
best
well
moments.
compared to live streams. Which
Yeah,
apparently there's a thing on
exactly.
YouTube. If you were to do live streams, videos, and shorts, it messes up the entire algorithm. So you have to focus on
Oh my
one
goodness.
section or the other. So
That's
yeah.
fair. Yeah.
I don't
Okay,
know why
and
it's
I
so
think
bad
that's
that way,
about
but
it.
yeah, that's
I
probably
think
it
that's
for
about
question
it.
1.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good one. What do you do? What do you enjoy doing on your spare time? Any free time that you have?
That's an awesome question.
Yep.
When I have free time, when I get my butt out of bed and out of the house, I do
Right?
like to, go for walks. I do occasionally go for some hikes. Nothing too difficult, but enough to say I've walked 10 miles today. I've done
Yeah,
that before.
exactly. Oh,
Yeah,
really? That's fun.
it is fun. I enjoy the occasional walks. I mean, I walk every day pretty much, but I like some of the hikes I do occasionally. I live in a part of the world where it's a great place for that kind of stuff. Even though it does get overcast and a little rainy most of the
Hmm.
year, but people don't understand. At least in my part of Washington State, yeah, it's gray most of the time, but
Yeah.
most of the time when we have precipitation, it's not really that significant. But it does change the look. It's sometimes it looks just like
Hmm.
this.
What you see outside.
Yep.
Um, hey, this is Pacific Northwest
One
weather
thing
right
I was
there.
about to add on to that, like,
Um,
is don't you live like in a kind of big city as well?
yeah, I live in the Seattle Tacoma area, and there's like I think there's like 3 to 4 million people as a
Yeah,
metropolitan
it's
area.
quite a big.
That's more people. Yeah, that's more people than the entire state of Arkansas where I used to live.
Oh
So
yeah,
with
for sure.
such little land, that's a lot of people,
Oh yeah.
and that's where the majority of people in Washington State live, is in that one metropolitan area.
Hmm.
And the rest is pretty quiet until you get to Spokane, where that's like the second largest. Well, it's either that or Portland, because
Yeah.
Vancouver, Washington is part of the Portland metropolitan area, which is in the state of Oregon.
Yeah.
Um, what else do I like to do in my spare time? Besides do streaming, which it is
It's
fun.
kind of a hobby, right?
It's a hobby. It is and it's not for me, because
Yeah.
I have taken it more seriously than some people do.
Yeah.
Because it for me it is kind of work too, because it does have
It does take a
challenges.
toll, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I do enjoy it, and if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it. So even
Yeah.
on the hard days, um, and also be there for other creators when I can, even though
Oh yeah,
the time I have is not as great as it used to be.
for sure.
And I occasionally watch a little TV, like sports, maybe a few movies, but nowadays it's mostly gaming. Try to be there for other creators, really good friends online. Travel when I can. I love to travel. I wish I had more money and time to do that, but traveling's always a good thing, at least for
Yeah.
me.
Also, hello, Ice Blue Dragon and Crimson. Whoa. They just
Whoa.
arrived. Whoa.
Let's
Anyway, we're now going on to the third question. Let me look closer. Oh, okay, that's what it is. What is your favorite book, movie, or TV show, and why?
Oh man. So I'll be frank. When it comes to books, I'm not as big of a book reader as a lot of people are.
Yeah.
It's not that I hate books. It's just getting into a place where I want to
read. Yeah.
more books. For me, when it comes to movies,
Happened
there are
again.
so many.
Mother-
Whoa!
There we go. It goes from black to
I
white,
don't
and
think
then
that-
I just zoomed. So,
Zoom. You got the zoomies.
right. It happened twice already, but
I don't recall that happening when you interviewed Crimson, did it?
no, it didn't. Basically, what's happening with the Quest
It's-
2 right now, it's trying to find tracking, even though we already verified the tracking.
Ah, gotcha. It's like I hope
Like
it's
the
not
room
this year.
boundary, the Guardian.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's trying to reconfigure.
Gotcha.
So.
Oh, I gotcha.
And the only way to fix
so
it is
for
restarting the
books,
headset. So
That's understandable.
I'm not gonna do that.
For movies, yeah. So for movies,
Yep.
I have a few. I was really fond of the Back to the Future movies. I really love the
Ooh,
casting.
Back to the Future.
You know, really enjoyed seeing Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd work together. They have such great chemistry.
Yeah.
I like the whole idea of space traveling. The pros, the things that make it worth doing, and then the cons where, you know, time travel can be misused and abused, as you saw in Back to the Future 2, where Biff Tannen, Marty McFly makes one little mistake with the almanac, and Biff
for sure.
screws everything up. How I like that. I like the whole idea of time traveling. The music's fantastic. It's just so fun. And also, I'm also a fan of the earlier Star Wars movies, like A New Hope.
Star Wars were pretty good. Yep.
The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Again, really fun cast. Love the characters. I love the idea of space adventures. The battles. The music was phenomenal. I mean, who doesn't like John Williams?
Right. I agree.
Yeah. I grew up watching that kind of stuff, and I still, even to this day, am really fond of those movies. TV shows, that's a great question. Oh my goodness.
Hello, Diamond. Yes.
So, I'll go with growing up, I was a huge fan of watching old cartoons. I was a big fan of watching, Warner Brothers, Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, I remember those
What's
classics.
Up, Doc?
What's up, Doc? That's a good voice impression. That's great.
And yeah, I was huge on Looney Tunes, Merry Melodies, and then of course some of the classic Disney cartoons.
Can't forget about the Space Jam.
Hi, I'm Mickey Mouse. Oh yeah, Space Jam.
Yep.
And you can't forget Goofy. Gosh.
Right. Mickey Mouse. Yep.
But yeah. Oh yeah. And then Tom and Jerry. I love the Tex Avery shorts were really good.
That was back the day when that Disney had like a decently good reputation too.
Yeah. It was just the times were different. I understand that.
For sure.
But I really appreciate I really miss the old traditional animated style that you don't really see as much today.
Yeah, right. Most of it's CGI.
I know.
Right.
And don't get me wrong. There are CGI animated films and shows that are really good. It's just there's still part of me that loves the old 2D animated style that you don't see as often as you used to. So one of the shows I really liked in the early 2000s was Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. That was a series on Cartoon Network, and I really loved the characters. Just a crazy bunch of friends, doing crazy things, and it was such a fun show, and I was really into it when I was younger, and I still think it's a fun show. I also when I was younger, I was a big fan of Full House.
Oh, there it goes again.
It's a sitcom series. I know it's a crazy, weird show, but I loved Full House.
Let me try resetting my player space. There we go. That might help a bit.
Yeah.
Because I also have a few add-ons on my VR, so.
No worries.
Alrighty.
But yeah, so those are some of the things I really enjoyed when it comes to shows and movies and
that
kind of stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Don't think anyone else had to add, so I guess we're on to the next question. Do you have any travel experiences that left a significant impact on you?
Yeah, actually, yes, I do. There's actually more than one I want to share.
Oh,
So, let me go back to 2000 because that was the very first time I've ever flown an aircraft. I've never flown before. Prior to that, uh, it was my first trip to go anywhere without my parents.
yeah.
I flew to California and met some friends online, which at the time my parents was very concerned and they were
Skeptical,
really not
yeah.
on board. They're very skeptical. They're like, "Oh, you don't know these guys. They might rob you. They might
I might
take your
yeah.
life. That kind of stuff."
My
They
parents
may
were
not be who they
somewhat
say
like
they are.
that, but not for my first time, luckily. Mine
Yeah.
was MFF Chicago, but
Gotcha. Yeah.
and it was around the 2020s like
it w-
yours actually. So,
Yeah, gotcha. That's cool.
as you were
But
saying,
yeah,
though.
I was. Yeah, so that was my first changing experience because, I got to meet, some of my online friends for the first time ever. I got to go somewhere I never been. I got to fly on an aircraft for the
Yeah.
first time. Uh, let's see what else. It was also the beginning of me really starting to get out of my comfort zone and break out of
Yeah,
my shell.
I guess
a
you can
little
call
bit.
it being more of an adult. Yeah.
Exactly. Um, I got a couple more. So, 2013, of course, the time where I moved out of my parents' place.
Yeah.
It was actually I was extremely scared to
Oh, yeah.
tell my parents, even though I was more than old enough to make my own
Head out,
decisions
yeah.
and do. Yeah, it's like I know they can't stop me because I'm an adult. It's like
Mm-hmm.
that's not the issue. It's just trying to go forward with those plans and
Yeah, exactly.
doing something I've never done before, and it's to move away from my parents and
It definitely
live
takes
in a
guts.
place I've
Yeah.
never. Yeah. Yeah. So I sold a lot of things, worked at a job for a couple months, and yeah, once I landed in my new home area in 2013, it was definitely a different place, but
Yeah.
I would not want to live anywhere else in the U.S. right now. I definitely would not go back to where I used to live because I didn't have very good experiences when I lived at my previous hometown.
Yeah. And Crimson is also agreeing with you when it comes to moving out.
Sounds like he could relate to what I was feeling.
Yeah.
And then going I'm sorry, I have two
It's
more.
all good.
But the
You can
last
keep
two are
going.
kind of similar. 2018 when I first went to a trip outside North America.
Yeah.
That was I had never
Outside of America,
left North
yeah.
America before. Yeah. So I mean I've been to Canada before, I've been to Mexico, but I've never left my continent until 2018. That was when I went to London. And believe it or not, it was because the Seattle Seahawks were playing a game there. And
Right.
I'm like, okay, this if that's the reason to get me out of North America, we're gonna go with it.
Yeah.
But I liked going over there because it's another place I hadn't been to before.
Mm-hmm.
And they speak English there, of course.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, the
just
only French
appreciate
part is
the-
Quebec.
Right. Exactly. But yeah, I really enjoyed that trip in 2018, and then
Yeah.
last year, of course, I went to Germany for the same reason, to go watch the Seahawks play.
Yep.
And that's a country where German is the main language.
Oh boy.
It was my second country to really visit that, the native language is not an English-speaking country.
Yep.
uh, but, a lot of people at least knew some English, so it wasn't really hard to, try to communicate with people and at least tell them what you want, or,
For sure.
basic stuff at least. And then I also went to Italy for a couple of days on that trip. And that was also the trip, being in Germany was also the trip where I
Yeah.
got to meet Mino Floof.
Minu Floof. Nice.
Mino Floof.
Minu Floof.
Some of you guys know who he is.
Yeah, I heard of him.
Back when he was under a different name, of course,
Ooh.
which we won't say because he'll be like, "Who's this blank guy?"
Right.
Yeah, those are my answers.
Nice.
If anyone else wants to add anything, feel free to do so. But yeah,
One thing
those
I
are my
will say
answers
is
to the
getting
first-
dropped off the airport is one of the more scarier things too, because you're just kind of like, here's your bags, here's everything, and you're on your own. Vroom. Car goes by.
Yes.
And I was just like,
I feel
wait,
that.
that's it? Wait, they're gone. Okay, I guess I'll
Exactly.
figure it out.
Yeah. Figure it out.
I think I
somehow.
was shaking the entire time there too. I was like, okay. But then you get used to it. It's
It'll be
Parkinson's.
okay. No,
No.
it'll be okay.
Right? But yeah, that's one of the more scarier times. It's just being dropped off and then figuring it out as it goes. So, but anyway, I guess if no one has anything to add, I don't think. No idea who that guy is, Marseille. Minu Floof, yep. I guess that's it. Whoa. After traveling.
Whoa.
What kind of music do you like, and do you have any favorite song or artist?
Wow. So, believe it or not,
Yep.
I'm a big fan of music in general.
Shock.
Like, music is definitely one of those interests I really have a lot of. It's just, I think I'm more of a music enjoyer than a player, even though when I was younger, I used to play the
Yeah.
trumpet. I was a trumpet player back
Hey,
in
trumpet
middle school.
gang. Same with Crimson. Yo.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, we had
I
that at the
promise I'm
last
not copying
Q&A.
Crimson's answers.
Yep.
Yes. I did play trumpet for a couple of years when I was in middle school. I enjoyed it.
Yep.
But when it comes to music, I don't have one single favorite. Like
Oh,
I'm a
clarinet.
big-
Sorry, he said clarinet.
Oh, clarinet. Ooh,
My
yeah.
bad.
And
I
that's
got that
not even
wrong.
the same. and that's not even a brass instrument. That's a woodwind instrument.
Right?
But,
Yeah.
Hey,
I got that incorrect. That's
Clarinets
my
sound
bad.
good. Yeah. So I like different genres. So I love gaming music soundtracks.
Ooh, yep.
Especially
Can agree with that.
especially the Final Fantasy ones when Nobuo Uematsu composed music for the earlier Final Fantasy games. Really big fan of his works. What else? I also like. I do like pop
Yeah.
music. Mostly the earlier style pop, like Michael Jackson, Madonna,
Yeah.
Whitney Houston. I like the synth pop, like Pet Shop Boys, Duran Duran. Let's see. I'm not really a huge fan of pop music today, but I do like
Yeah.
Taylor Swift's music. I'm not gonna lie, I do think she's
Yep.
a really solid musician and knows what she's doing. And when I worked at her concerts, I will admit, I didn't hate them. I thought they were
Yeah.
well done, and the fans that I worked with, they were actually pretty good. I mean,
Yep.
they were surprisingly good because those are expensive shows. They're some of the most expensive shows I've ever worked at.
For sure.
But I do like other genres. I do like, different styles of rock music. Yeah, even heavy metal, like a little bit of
Yeah.
Metallica, Red Hot Chili Peppers,
I guess it just
Foo
depends on the
Fighters,
music, though,
Nirvana.
in a way.
Yes, exactly.
You like them, but
Um,
it depends on like how it sounds and everything. Yeah.
exactly. What else? Guns N' Roses. There are a lot of rock. Queen. Uh, there's so many good bands out there.
Yeah. Don't have time to name them all. Huh?
Exactly. But yeah, I'm more of a earlier pop style music person. Some rock music.
Yeah,
Um,
that's for sure.
I try to like different genres, and I like most genres for the most part.
Yeah.
But yeah, that those are my styles. And what I like about my current job outside streaming is
Yeah.
I get a chance to see some of these acts when I thought I never would see them in person. So
Yeah.
in a way, it's good that I at least have a chance to see some of these bands in person without spending hundreds of dollars, if not
Oh
more,
yeah, for
to
sure.
see them.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. What about you? Do you have favorite genres of music?
Um, for most of the time, it was just mostly Sea Cadet music that that I was into. So instrumental band
There you go.
stuff. But if I did hear other
Yeah,
music, I usually don't mind them.
that's good.
Oh boy, of course. Oh,
Awesome.
fixed itself. There we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, Crimson does also agree with what you have to say. Ooh.
Nice. Glad to hear
The
it.
genre of music I would like, though. I don't have a specific one, if I'm being honest.
It's hard. It's hard to pick.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I've been
some of
recently
the
listening to
artists
back to
yeah.
the FNAF music, but even then, that's not really a
Oh,
genre.
okay. It's okay. I mean, if you like that kind of music, I mean,
Oh yeah,
hey, that's all that matters. But yeah, I'm a excuse me. Yeah, I'm a big fan of like Queen, Michael Jackson,
yeah. Michael Jackson's pretty
Whitney
good. I do have to
Houston.
agree.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'll admit I do like Mariah Carey as well. There's so many good acts out there.
I agree,
Um,
Spyro. FNAF is its own type of music. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I like most genres and a lot of the artists that are out there. And
Amazing.
that's all I got to say on there.
Okay. Oh, can you share any memorable life lessons or pieces of advice that you've learned?
Mm-hmm. So back in
Life lesson from
2012,
Seahawk. Yo.
so back in 2012, I had a not very good experience with someone, and I'll admit it was mostly my fault on how I responded.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a crush on a person, and I didn't really communicate with her well on how I did it, and
Yeah.
because of how I responded, that person cut me off and blocked me, and a few of their friends did too.
Oh,
And
not fun.
At that time, it was a very heartbreaking experience for a short time. So I learned at that time that communicating over stuff like that is important, or
Oh yeah,
anything
for
in
sure.
general. Like if you feel something about someone or whatever, it's better to say so in a one-on-one versus showing it to the world and
Oh yeah.
the person doesn't feel that way at all. So I learned that life life is about learning lessons, and lessons aren't always fun.
Hmm.
Sometimes they are very painful, and that's all I gotta say on that.
I believe quite a few people would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right after this one, we're going straight into it. Alrighty. What are your future plans for a job career?
So for the longest time, I being someone that's into computers, especially fixing issues with stuff like that, I always
Yeah.
wanted to do that. I mean, it kind of is still something I would consider really pursuing down the road or at some point in the future. Um, when I graduated from getting a associate's degree, though, it was a really good while ago, and where I used
Hmm.
to live, it was really hard to find any kind of work,
For
which
sure.
that put me at a huge disadvantage. Um, so because of that, um, I
Yeah.
felt like that really held me back. And I also lived in an area where the larger cities were too much of a drive to make me
Yeah.
wonder if it was worth doing. Um, so, and then the other thing is, finding the right employer too,
Hmm.
because I've had mostly negative experiences when it comes to working for other people.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
like the last full-time job I had, it really messed up my mental health to the point where I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I gotta
Hmm.
stop. And I did. It was hard though because that was my main source of income.
For sure.
Um, so even though, doing computer repair stuff could still be a thing I would look into do in the future, the only real thing I guess you can say I'm still trying to find that real career job that I really want to
Yeah.
do full time, that I want, that I'm passionate about. Um, so even though this is one where I know it's a long shot, and I know most people that do it don't really make
Yeah.
anything or enough, but I really would like to continue pursuing content creation as a bigger source of income
Yeah.
in the
Or at
future,
least
because
try
I
to.
genuinely
Yeah.
love, yeah, because I genuinely love doing, play games with friends,
Yeah.
try to entertain the best way I can.
Having
Um,
fun. Yeah.
you know, I, when I do this kind of stuff, I know nothing's guaranteed, and I don't expect people to do anything
Yeah.
extra for me, because you shouldn't expect it. You just if they
It just
do,
either
you
comes
you
or it
want to
doesn't.
really get,
Yeah.
yeah, you just give them thanks for it, and let be known that it's not required. It's just greatly
Yeah.
appreciated if you do something
For
really
sure.
nice for whatever creator you want to support. um I but yeah, I would love to have streaming be a bigger
Yeah.
source of income for me down the road, but it's not
Hmm.
simply for money. It's because I genuinely love it. um I learned that if you're just doing something for money, you're gonna get burned. It's gonna mess you up, and that's what happened, especially with the last job I had that was full time. I'm like, I can't do that anymore. I need to find something or work towards something I love doing. So, um, currently, for those that don't know, I work at more than one arena in my home area.
Yep.
It is fun. I do like it for the most part. The challenges is there will be moments where you may not get a lot of events.
Hmm.
And then the other thing is, it does have an impact on how I schedule my streams, and I feel like sometimes it does impact how well I do my streams too, because
Yeah.
I cannot do a consistent schedule right now, until we get to a place where I can, make it happen.
Yeah.
So my dream is to I really would like to be a
Content
more
creator.
serious creator, but
Yeah.
but also remember, but still hold true to the person that I am today and try to be better at,
Yeah.
being better at who I am, because I don't want to, sell
All of a
myself
sudden
out
change.
and be
Yeah.
someone I'm not. That's the one thing I'm afraid of, but
Mhm.
I want to continue to do what I love doing, but still also, try to be there for others and appreciate the people I do have in my life, because without people like yourselves, it would be, I don't think
Impossible
I'd
what you'd be
be where
here
I'm at
today.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I genuinely mean it.
Yeah. Alrighty. I guess since no one has anything else to kind of add, we can move on to the next one.
Yeah.
When did you get started with streaming? And, well, if you ever started with YouTube, and what is your first motive that started your adventure to content creation?
So yeah, we touched on this earlier, but
Yeah.
I'll be happy to explain it a little bit more. I originally started off on YouTube. I think it was more than 10 years ago. But it was mostly just sharing videos of, when I did some conventions that were not furry related.
Yep.
Most of those videos are not there anymore. And a good chunk of it is because my real name was in those videos, and I kind of want to
Keep that out.
I really don't want that. I want to leave it out, because with anything I do, I just want to keep it as my nickname. So, yeah, I did a lot of videos. I did some videos for like conventions, my outdoor adventures, and a few other random things. So today, the YouTube is for anything VOD related on Twitch. Any streams I do that's not on Twitch. But yeah, when it came to streaming on Twitch, I started in 2020. I think it started in early September 2020. First game I played was Fall Guys. Believe it or not, that was my first streaming game I ever played. And that was right before I had my current desktop. I actually started streaming on a laptop for like a short time. It was more of a test stream, but that's when I started streaming. And that was right before I convinced my roommates that we needed to upgrade the internet, because the internet I had before was not sufficient to streaming, because even with Ethernet, it was still not sufficient, because the upload speeds were just not enough. We went from having like 40 megs down, 5 up, to like 9, almost a gig up and down. So that's symmetrical speeds, which is more than enough to do the streaming. It also helps with large downloads and stuff. But yeah, I started streaming in 2020, and it was before I even declared myself as a furry. I started off with following some sports streamers for a bit. Then I slowly make my way towards following furries, and that's like early on, I started streaming with my face cam. And then eventually I started using VTuber. And yeah, the rest is history.
Nice.
I agree, Spyro. It really does.
Yeah. Did you touch on the first motive, if I can recall? Like, what was your first motive on, like, starting the content creation? I'm not sure if I heard.
No, I never really explained it. So, um, I never really thought about streaming when I first joined Twitch. I just wanted to follow people, watch their streams,
Yeah.
get to know them. Um, so when I first started streaming, it was just mostly to play games, make friends, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's still the case today. Just with some added, you know, reasons as well, which is I want to be successful at what I do, kind of thing, but still,
Yeah, for sure.
you know, hold heart to, you know, my passions. You know, try to be supportive of other people. You know, try to make them feel welcome, and try really hard to maintain the safe space
Yeah.
aspect where, you know, I want everybody to be safe no matter what your politics, religion, your sexual orientations are, but also let people know that, you know, certain people that do really terrible things,
Yeah.
that are extremely traumatic for people, those people are not welcome. I don't care if you are popular or not. I don't hesitate to go after them and be like, I'm sorry, they're not safe around you. I can't keep you. You gotta go. I'm that kind
Yeah.
of person.
Is that all you want? Is that all that you want to share with that?
Exactly.
English.
Yeah, it is.
Perfect.
I know English is hard.
Can be at times. What are your proudest achievements or moments in your life so far?
Uh, there's more than one I want to share.
Yeah.
So when it comes to uh financial contributions, it was more of a charity stream campaign I was part of on a streaming team that is no longer around.
Hey.
So we were raising money for building houses for people around the world.
Oh, that's nice.
And I think it was around December, we had this really random rate of people coming in spamming messages. And when I saw these donations come in, you know, both
Yeah.
actual donations and a few
Scammer kind of thing.
you know, some gifted
Oh,
subs,
gifted subs,
and all that
yeah.
stuff. There were a lot of spam messages. You know, people just spamming messages. I'm like, wait, is this a hate? People were like, is this a hate raid? And I kind of freaked out a bit. And then
Yeah.
some of us started to ban a few people, and then later on we learned that it's not a hate raid. These are actual people trying to do some good,
Yeah.
deliver some cheer around this time, around the holiday season. And we apologized, and it turned out to be a legit thing. And yeah, it was so cool. It was
Can
definitely
imagine.
one of the proudest moments that I've seen in the channel.
Yeah, I could
What
imagine.
else? The one thing I really appreciate is I've had people tell me that because of my streams, I've saved their lives or made their days a lot better.
All
And
right.
I really appreciate that.
Could
I
imagine.
love hearing stuff like that. It's not. I don't even think of. I don't even think of doing stuff like that. It just happened.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to hear people say something like that. It's like I'm just being myself. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, right.
Um.
I don't see it often with Twitch streamers, but definitely with YouTubers, I've seen it a lot more happen.
Yeah. In this case, it was definitely on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool to hear people say stuff like that. It made me feel like I have a purpose in this world. It really does.
For
Because
sure.
there are times where I have a lot of self-confidence issues, where I doubt myself and wonder if I really have a purpose in life or in this world.
Yeah, for sure.
Which, you know, I occasionally feel that way. But it's nice to hear messages where people uh, say some really encouraging things, and it's really good that it's really nice to know that I've really made positive impacts in people's
Yeah, for
lives.
sure.
And the one recent thing that did happen was I
Mhm.
honestly didn't think my community would ever do this, but I said if we somehow hit the magic number for the hype train, I'm like, this isn't gonna happen. No way in hell this is gonna happen. But I made a I added something. If it happened, I said I would admit for 13 streams I will admit and not fight over being called cute. Because
Oh,
if you
funny.
don't know me, guys,
Yeah,
I always like to deny my
yeah.
cuteness
I
to
do
the
it as
chat.
well.
It's like,
Oh,
yeah,
not
no way.
cute. No.
Thank you, Red.
Hugs you both, Redstone. Oh, thank you,
Oh,
Redstone.
thank you, Redstone.
Redstone being caught cute on stream. I mean, what?
No way. But I think that's all I gotta add. But those are some of the highlights I wanted to share with you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now, to the next one. Do you have any interesting or unique talents or skills that you'd like to share? This is a tough one, so.
Um, not so much. I mean, like when I try to do different accents, that's like some of the things I could do.
Yeah.
Like, hello, my name's 13. I'm the 13th Seahawk, and I'm the variety streamer, full-time Manakit VTuber on Twitch, and I hope you enjoy your stay today. I mean, I could do a few accents sometimes.
Sounded almost
Sometimes
British.
it's a little fun. I know, that's what I
Almost.
was aiming for, my dear project.
Or a butler, if you think about it.
There you go. Of course. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I can do a few accents. I don't feel like I'm the most super talented person with unique skills,
Yeah.
other than me just trying to entertain the streams on Twitch. And just try to goof around with people and have fun with it.
Yeah.
Spire's message.
Seems standard to deny cuteness, even if you are. Wow, I see how it is.
Whoa.
So, the next one is, how do you handle challenges or setbacks in your life? This is just general, broad, so.
Yeah. Well, as a creator, I've had a lot of challenges. I can go over both challenges and setbacks because I feel like there's some differences in both. So challenges, for those that don't stream or want to stream in the future, this isn't to scare anyone, but as you grow your community, you will have some challenges.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's being follow botted, whether it's you have people that are super jealous or highly envious to the point where not so much of saying I wish I had this. I mean, I feel that way
Yeah.
sometimes when I see friends get some good moments, but at the same time, I'm really happy for my friends when they
Yeah.
have good moments, because we all deserve good moments. But I'm talking
sure.
about those that get to the point where they get super aggressive and they fight you over it. That's the kind of stuff I don't like. So yeah, you'll have people that do that, and then you'll have people that only want what you have, and that's also not okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes when people don't follow certain things, if they do something that makes the creator feel uncomfortable, you have to you may have to change some rules and enforce some things.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
sadly, I've had instances where I've lost people,
Mhm.
and it's not a fun feeling.
No.
I've had people where
Oh, another follow.
they I
Sorry, I just got like the
this isn't
notification.
gonna this isn't gonna be everybody, but
Yeah.
just a heads up. I've had people that have harassed me. I've had people that have tried to dox me. Um,
Not fun.
the best thing they're not fun. Um, I've had experiences where a lot of people would probably quit streaming. If I could be
Yeah.
honest with you. Um, so what I would, in my opinion, is try to find people that can help you out, and have be surrounded by people that will do their best to have your back and try to help you out in any way possible. Um, so I try to focus on what I do have and those that do their best to help diffuse any difficult situations. Um, so
Yeah.
I would probably say that um, what gets me through is the people I do have, because that definitely makes a huge difference in the world. The people that really love you and will do their best to try to be
Try to
there
help
for you in
or
any way
whatever.
possible.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't have that, then I don't know if I could continue. I really
Yeah.
don't.
You probably wouldn't
If
continue
I didn't
streaming
have
today.
anything,
Yeah,
I would give up.
for sure.
So, that's all I gotta say on that one.
Cool. Are there any goals? Oh, I forgot to mute. Alrighty. The next one. Where is it? Oh, are there any goals or dreams you're currently working towards?
It goes back to what I was talking about earlier when
Yeah.
I talked about future career or job. But I'll get a little bit more technical. So, if I can't find any other IL jobs I have any interest that would fit me well and
Mhm.
be at some place where I'm respected and treated like a person, not like a statistic. Um, I really want to
Yeah.
go farther with my content creation. Really want I still want to work towards becoming a partner on Twitch. I know that's a high mountain to climb.
It is quite
I
literally.
know it's really high. It's like it gets harder and harder, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
I really want to work towards it for a number of reasons. It's not so much the pay scale. It's not even that great. I feel like, all streamers deserve to get more than what they're getting, honestly. If I
Yeah.
could be serious for a moment, because I feel like we don't get enough.
No.
Hell, even the
50%
partner
take.
plus people, I feel like, I
Yeah.
feel like even the partner plus people don't get enough, which is unfortunate. I really think creators that really put effort in their streams should get something, if not more. So I want to work towards partner also because I want to show people, how much myself and other people in the community have really busted their butts off.
Trying to get
How much of a beating we've taken, because it's not been all fun and games.
No.
As I've shared with you not long ago. Mainly, hey, I got the scars to prove we worked this hard. And I want people to know that it's not because of just me, but everyone that is part of this ride would be the reason why we hit that level.
Oh, thank you.
I want to
Booster
also
Lex
try to
for the
help
follow.
others
And F4N
do their best to get to their goals too.
Yeah.
I still want to maintain the spirit that I have today, and I don't want to be someone that I don't want to be. What else? Also, simply, it'd be nice to have more emotes for my channel if that could be serious.
Right?
Because
I wish we had
I mean, who
unlimited.
doesn't want more emotes, right? I would
Be
love to
great.
add more emotes for the channel, but
Mhm.
I want to still maintain the spirit, and I don't want to lose what I have in that regard. Because here's the thing. I've learned that just simply having wealth is not going to make you happy. It gives
No,
you opportunities to do more things, but if you don't
for
have any
sure.
people around you to do it with, then to me it's not really fun. Like
No, I could imagine.
if I had serious income, like more than a lot of people, I would love to add more unique experience with people that are in this community. Like, project, let's go to Europe together or something, or let's bring Tim along. That kind of
Yeah, for
stuff.
sure. Boost Relax, Hi
Um,
Project, I forgot to follow you, and good to see you, my proto friend. Yeah, nice to see you as well. We're just doing a Q&A with Seahawk. Oh,
hey, Booster.
yes,
Um,
welcome. Sorry to interrupt
but
you.
yeah, I just want to be a partner where people would be like, man, this guy is really genuine, a really good person to hang
Yeah.
out with, and
Did
not
you say
just
you would own
someone
your
that's
own,
popular.
your own Twitch team? I guess you can call it.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets to that point, I would love to create
Oh,
a
that would be
Twitch
awesome.
team. As far as the name and stuff goes, I don't have an answer for you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I want to be someone where people really say 13 really is a genuine soul, a really good being to be around. And I don't want to be seen as this guy that's just popular, famous, or a
For sure.
celebrity. I don't
Or the
like that
term
kind of
poppy fur.
mindset. I hate that. That is a cringe
Mm-hmm.
term. I wish that would just get yeeted. Um,
Right?
and I also want to be someone that stands up for everybody and, stand against, as I said earlier, I want to be the champion of someone that will, you know, try their best to be there for those that, that are in the community that have experienced some traumatic experiences with other people,
Said hi to 13 for
and
me.
stand up
Yep.
against those that do harm. Even if
Mm-hmm.
you have a big following, I'll be like, I don't care if your following's big. I don't want you
Yeah,
near me or
exactly.
my community. 'Cause they're not safe around you. So be gone.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the kind of partner I want to be, and I hope I get there at some point. If not, at least I want to try harder to get better at what I'm
Yeah.
doing, and continue loving what I do and move up from that.
Nice. The next one. Am I? Oh, nice. The next one would be, what is your philosophy on life, or do you have any guiding principles? Another
Um,
tough one right there.
it is a
Oh.
tough one. I had one in my head. So I like the one where it talks about moving on from the past but not dwell on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with that one.
I
Um,
somewhat am, yeah.
but yeah. So I think that's an important one to have. I mean, sure, you know, we we re- we regret many things we've done in our past.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know I have. Um, and it's fine to at least recognize what you learned from it. But my philosophy is to not let the past define you, but to focus on the present and how you could do things better in the future, and
Yeah.
apply what you learned from those experiences into your life. So, we're not here forever.
No.
And we're not perfect. I get that. With that being said, we just do what we can and
Yeah.
try to be better from what we learned in past experiences that weren't very good.
For sure.
I see you, Booster. Hi. I got your message. I hope you're doing well.
Yep. Whoa. Yeah, I used to be one of those people that would dwell on the past a lot and things happened in life. I, of course, kind of more
Understand.
improved on that now, but
That's good.
the next one. Can you describe a time when you stepped out of your comfort zone and what you learned from it?
Um, there's a few instances.
A few. Oh.
I mean, I kind of touched up on some of those earlier. I
Yeah.
can share another one with you after that. So basically, like being able to travel to places I've never been to before,
Yeah,
like
for sure.
moving out from my parents. Those were hard to get out because I thought, oh, I'm gonna be stuck with my parents until they're dead, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I got to move out. Uh, you know, even something as simple as meeting certain people for the first time in person, like I will admit sometimes when I meet someone, when I get a chance to meet some people for the first time in person that you
Yeah.
really you really like, I get nervous, I get really terrified. Like when I went to
Yep.
Arizona and got the chance to meet Tim, I was actually really
That was hype.
nervous. I don't know why. It's just maybe.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. It's just that's just who I am. I sometimes get that anxiety when I first meet certain people in person. And I mean I'm a lot better with that than I used to be. It still
Mhm.
creeps in sometimes and
I would say it always
yeah.
happens before you do something. It usually does.
Yeah, exactly. And then when you
It
do,
happens
it's
to
like,
me as well,
hey,
funny
that's
enough.
oh, you
And
get
then,
that too, huh?
yeah, like in cadets, I used to teach quite a bit. And before it would happen, I would just get nervous and everything. But as soon as I start speaking, it just goes whatever. It goes perfectly fine.
Exactly.
It's until you do start doing it, it's just gone.
Yeah. Um, and then there was one time off stream where there were a few friends trying to comfort someone, and they were going through some really terrible times. They
Yeah.
really showed a lot of reaction. They really lost their minds, and then
Mhm.
they eventually calmed down, moved forward, and yeah. At the time, I know I didn't have to stick around, but for a reason, I still stuck around and tried to be supportive of the person.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was the other example of me getting outside my comfort zone because I don't have the answers to everything. I don't think anyone does, and I'm not a very
No.
confrontational person.
There's only so much we can do.
Yeah. So that's all I got there.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, usually, my last resort, most of all, is seek a professional. Like, we're just human beings as friends
Oh,
trying to help. But
absolutely.
you
I
definitely need to
mean, we
like
can only
tell
do
them
so
that you
much.
need to seek a professional. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not good with these at all. So
exactly. Like we can do what we can to at least temporarily
yeah,
comfort people, um, but to really, you know, take it steps further, yeah, professional help is the best way to go, even
yeah,
if it's not the most comfortable thing to do. Um,
for sure.
but it can definitely save one's life.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, did Chad had anything to add on? I don't think so. Just a redeem. Oh,
I see Star Nexus on there. Hello.
yeah. Star Nexus joined. Whoa.
No way.
Who has been the most influential person in your life and why?
Um, I had to think about that one before doing this.
Oh yeah.
Don't
I
have
bet
a
it's
really long
hard.
answer. It is. Uh, so one of my aunts from one of my maternal aunts that's no longer alive. I was really close to her for a good chunk of my life. Um,
Yeah.
I say she's one of them because she kind of has that. I mean, she has that. She had that loving spirit,
Mm-hmm.
and at
Yeah.
the same time, she had a bit of a kind of a tough talk kind of stance where where she kind of encouraged me to stand up for myself in tough situations. Because there are times where you do have to stand up for
Stand up.
yourself
Yeah.
or for other people, and I really like that aspect about her. Um, Even though I still consider myself very confrontational, but
Yeah.
I do appreciate that she had that loving personality, but at the same time she had the
Yeah.
personality where
For
you
sure.
kind of have to fight, not necessarily physically fight, but kind of get get tough with people, and you have to you have to defend yourself in some ways and stand up for yourself
Yeah.
and for other people. So I gotta give her credit for that,
Agreed.
and that's all I got for that.
Of course. Alrighty. Do you have any favorite quotes or sayings that you resonate with?
Um, so this is one from uh, uh, I know multiple athletes have said this, but I think this came from the great one, Wayne Gretzky. I believe he
Wayne
says
Gretzky.
you. He said something along the lines, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take."
Yeah.
Um, which in reality it is true, because if you don't take a shot, you're definitely gonna miss every time, and you
Yep.
could miss out on something really good.
For
So
sure.
I think Gretzky's quote is really true when it comes to how things in life is. I think that's important people recognize it, because yeah, if you don't take a shot at something, you miss every single time. If you
Yeah, for
take a
sure.
shot, you may not get it, but you at least have a
A shot. Yeah.
0.001% chance, and it's still a
Right?
chance. So I do like that quote a lot.
Fair enough. That was actually our last question anyway, so.
Oh my goodness, we're at the end.
Right?
Whoa.
2 more hours? No. This actually went
13
longer than
hours.
Crimson's,
Just
funny
kidding.
enough. Right?
Wow. Yeah, because Crimson went over. I think he went a little
He
bit
went
over
just
an hour.
under. Just under 55
Oh,
minutes.
under. Okay.
This one went
okay.
an hour and 30 minutes, so it's whatever, though.
Jeez.
I don't.
I wasn't going to rush
I didn't
us or
think
anything.
I would even. Yeah, like I don't try to beat it or match anything.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd be surprised if I make it 20 minutes or something, because I
Yeah,
don't.
but we managed to make
There-
it, like, above the bar.
Here's the thing. I don't really. There are times where I get sociable, and then there are times where like I just can't get in that social
Yeah, right.
mood where I have anything to
And
say.
now it is. Here it
like,
is.
Yeah. Exactly. Also, chat, before we go, did you have any questions for me? If you have
Yeah.
any.
Do we have any more
I'm
questions
sure
in the
there might
chat?
be one.
Time flies when you're having fun. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So true.
We'll also need something for the thumbnail, which is probably going to be
Yes.
the same thing me and Crimson did, just being goofy. Oh. I
Yes.
was thinking with your eyes open kind of thing, just to make it
Oh.
even more goofy.
Do you? I'm trying to remember. Did you have googly eyes on yours?
I do not, sadly.
Oh,
I
because
wish
I'd be
I
like, hey guys.
My screens aren't that good. It's shut down, this, or this, which none of them are good. Alrighty, I guess we can take the picture real quick and then see if chat has anything else to say.
Ooh, actually, there is a question.
Oh,
I'll let you read it.
okay, sure. I know Seahawk has been on an airplane before, but has the Seahawk ever been on a train before? That's a good question.
Great question. I have. I'll tell you some experiences that I've had on a train. So, the very first time I really went on a train was when I was in San Diego, where I was going to and from San Diego.
San Diego.
Several years. It was more than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I rode the Amtrak trains. It was a Pacific Surfliner. That was my first real train ride. It was really nice. You got to see the coastline. It was so good. Of course, I've also been on, different light rail networks, different public transportation networks. I've been on. So the longest one I've ever been on was when I went to Europe last year. It was one of those night trains. It's one of those sleeper trains. I
Ooh,
started off
interesting.
my trip from Munich, where I went through. This was like a late night trip, like overnight. So I did try to sleep a little bit. What little sleep I did get. So we went through Salzburg, went through a few towns in Austria, went to Italy, went through just near Venice, Bologna, and then eventually made my destination at Florence, where I spent a couple of days there before going back to Munich for the last part of my last European trip. So yeah, that train trip where I did the overnight train was the last that was like the biggest train trip I've ever done, and it was really cool. Even though I tried to get some sleep and I didn't get that much sleep, but it was still a nice experience.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I've been on trains before.
All right, I guess we can quickly take the screenshot. I didn't get it the first time. Oh. Alrighty.
You want me to do one without the eyes, or both?
We could just do it with the eyes. I think that's just the goofy part of it. Oh.
Okay.
And I'll probably
Okay,
take
alright,
something
if you
from Google for googly eyes and just put on my proto maybe.
Do you want me
Photoshop it
to-
in.
You want to do this?
Either one works. Actually, I don't
Hey,
think
let's go.
they see your eyes. There you go. That looks
Oh,
better.
they don't?
No, they do.
Oh,
They
don't see
do.
my
What I
eyes?
meant is the camera. Sorry.
Oh.
When I was looking at it. So we'll just bring that forward
Okay.
a bit more.
Hey,
For the
let's
goofy.
go.
All right.
The
And
goofy.
ready? And then we can do whatever hand gesture. So. Oh.
Whoa.
Perfect. Oh. I think I was a bit more right on the picture. Ah, whatever. I don't care. Just a thumbnail. No one's gonna care about it.
And then
Ooh.
watch all your people leave because they saw my face with the eyes open. It's like,
Right.
okay, I can't watch
Oh.
this anymore. Bye.
Let's bring that camera back. Alrighty. Any
Oh,
more
do we
questions
want-
before
go
we
ahead.
head it out? Ooh.
Yeah.
Feel
Any
free to
questions?
ask.
This is
Near
your last
Seahawks,
chance.
So.
Any questions for any of us? This is your chance.
Yup.
This is your chance.
Oh, do I see one? With the number of people that you know in the community, is it true that most of us are working in IT?
It really, I mean, there are a few people in the fandom that are into IT. I don't think it's ever. I don't know if it. I think it's a good percentage. As far as how big it is. I really can't answer that question.
Alrighty. How did
Uh,
Seahawk meet Metzi, Inferno, and Toby, and
etc.
etc.?
Um,
Oh
so
boy.
so that's a great question. And I'll name a few others too, which I don't mind. I can also add one or two people into the mix
Yeah.
too. But Metzi, I met through Sherbert Shenanigans community back when he was still known as Raven Dave. I still call him Dave, by the way. I mean, I call him Metzi, but I still call
Yeah.
him Dave. Um, yeah, I met Dave through another community, like towards the end of 2020, early 2021. Um, at first, we weren't on the best terms, but I mean, I do respect him a lot more, and we're mostly better because of things. Inferno, I met her. So the first time I met her was not through good circumstances. It was related to someone that I'm no longer in contact with, because at that time Inferno was on the wrong side of things, but not really her fault per se,
Yeah.
because I think she was just manipulated to believing in whatever it was she was taught at the time. But
For sure.
yeah, and for Black and Yellow, we've always I've never disliked them, even um, again through a person that I'm no longer in good standing with because of how they responded to me and
Yeah.
how they tried to destroy my reputation and bring me down because I felt like they weren't fit to be a mod.
For sure.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, two people in there because of not the best circumstances. Um, I'll just throw another one. Because I know this one really well. Tim, I
Tim.
met Tim for the
Nice.
first time in person. Well, I met him for the first time in online because
Yeah.
Inferno was the one that reposted my message on a game show collaboration, which was the first time I ever did Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And Tim was one of the first people that expressed interest. And
Nice.
when we first did it, I'm like, hey, this Tim guy seems really cool and chill. And
Yeah. For sure.
yeah, and then I started hanging out with Tim more. He became one of my mods, and then I eventually became one of his. And we've been really close ever since then. He's a really good friend.
For sure.
I look up to him a lot, and I just like being around him and all the other people I met along the way. So
Oh, and how
yeah,
did you?
I hope that
How
answers your
about
question.
Sam? How did Seahawk meet Sam? If he did, I don't know who the Sam person is, but
Uh, my memory of Sam it's not as clear. I don't get to really hang out with Sam a lot. If you're talking about the Sam that's associated with Black and Yellow, all I know is that I met him because of Black and Yellow, and I occasionally
Yeah.
see him mostly when Black and Yellow does stuff with them. But I mean, Sam's always welcome to join me too when I
I'm
do stuff.
talking about the mouse. Zootopia said.
Yeah, Sand Mouse. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was through Black and Yellow. They're the one person that I really would love to get to know better, but I
For
do
sure.
have him as a friend and stuff, and I think he does follow my Twitch, and I look at his sometimes too. Uh, but I met him because of Black and Yellow. Question for you, 13. When did you first meet Sherbert and Ice Blue Dragon?
Ooh.
Are
Those
you
would be
talking about?
interesting ones.
So it's a great question. Let me ask you farther, Booster. Are you talking about online, in person, or both?
Ooh. waiting for a response. Anything.
Anything. Oh,
So I guess
either
both.
one. Okay.
Yeah. Or either.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, Tim is at the Cute Progen. Yeah, we're talking about that Tim.
The Tim.
But going back to the Tim. Hey. So, yeah, regarding Sherbert, it was actually in 2019, back when I didn't even know who Sherbert was. So, as I said at the earlier part of this Q&A, which I know not everyone was there at the beginning.
No.
Um,
But it'll be
so
re-uploaded to
I'm-
YouTube, so no worries.
Exactamundo, yeah. So, I met Sherbert back in 2019 at my very first furry convention, which was A&W, Enter Northwest. And it was when he was wearing that kimono suit of his Sherbert character, of her Sherbert character. So, yeah, at the time, this is before Sherbert became transitioned into transgender female. So
Yeah.
Sherbert's character is still a he, him, but the person behind Sherbert is she, her. But we met at the convention in 2019. I didn't even get their name at the time. I love their suit. I didn't have a long interaction with Sherbert at the time.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until 2020 when I found Sherbert's Shenanigans stream, and through a raid that I was part of, and yeah, that's where I discovered VR chat and started getting to. That's when things really started to pick up. And at the time, this is funny. Like when I saw Sherbert on stream, I started to. There was this thing in my head. It's like, there's something familiar about this guy I'm watching on stream, and then I went through my old photos and through Northwest in 2019, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I met Sherbert before I knew Sherbert.
Oh.
Or at least before I knew he was. So, yeah, that's how I met Sherbert. And the rest is history. Ice Blue Dragon. It came a little bit later. It came later. I think it was probably like 2021. There was this Derg that came out of nowhere, or I'd never seen him before, but he was hanging around Sherbert. And when I first met Icy Derg, he did more full body back when I first met him. He seemed like a cool, chill guy. So I've been friends with him ever since then. Definitely one that tries to be there for me when he can. The first and only time we met in person was at BLFC last year. It was in June of 2022. Because of the support he got at the time, he was able to do his first convention experience in person, and yeah, it was really cool to meet him in person, and it seemed like he was having a good time. So it was really nice to get to meet Icy Derg.
Also,
in an IRL setting.
Zootopia. That was actually discussed later in the stream, earlier in the stream. What inspired Seahawk to play VR chat or stream? We did that earlier, so that'll have to be on the YouTube watch, because I don't think we want to repeat ourselves 15 times over.
Yeah,
no one's gonna mention Black.
Yeah, it was just simply
mention Yellow, Kevin.
Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You're fine, Zootopia. You didn't know that. It's fine.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, it was just simply, I found Sherb's channel and I started to get curious about VRC, and I just picked up on it, and I felt like it was the best way to connect with people when you're not able to see them in person. It's my opinion.
For sure. Oh, are you gonna crash? No, they're not gonna crash. Cool.
Yeah, let's not have
But yeah, you're fine, Zootopia. It's just you didn't know that, so it's all good.
Mhm.
I think that's it for our questions.
Yeah.
Which I think this has
I think so
gone on
too.
long enough. 2 hours, quite a bit of
Right?
time.
Almost. Oh my goodness! Wow.
Back in my day. Anyway,
Let's go for 13. No, I'm just kidding.
13 hours later of questions.
Right. No, I got something else to do pretty soon anyway. So
Yeah.
This is wonderful.
Yeah, no, I understand Zootopia. That's why it's all gonna go on a YouTube video so you can play it all back and see which parts we were at.
yeah.
So we're gonna
Absolutely.
send off the raid to the classic Crimson. Whoa,
Whoa.
crazy out here.
Cream
And thank you all for joining. And if you guys want to rewatch it, it'll be on the VOD for a short period of time, but it's going to be on YouTube for a permanent period of time. So whatever one works for you guys.
Yes.
Until next time, I'll see you all later. Goodbye.
Bye.